Welcome to another episode of Dueker Sports. I am your co-host, Christian Lunday, and below me is my co-host, Dylan Dueker. What is up, Dylan?
Oh, just ready to do some drafting today, and I want to make a distinction that I am not Howie Roseman.
So you're competent. Okay, that's good.
Exactly.
That's
I
good
will
to know.
not be taking Jalen Rager over Justin Jefferson in this draft. Don't worry.
Uh, that's good. That means NFL will be more competitive. Um, Today, we're doing our first annual 2022 NFL first round mock draft. We're going to draft for all 32 teams in the first round, and I am very excited for this episode. This has been a long time coming. Dylan, what are your thoughts so far?
I'm super excited to be doing this today. This is my favorite show we've done so far, and I did have some ideas for how I wanted this to go down. So I was hoping that we get to represent our teams in this mock draft. So I thought I'd flip a coin, decide who goes first. But other than that, we'll be alternating picks. Other than I will be picking for the Eagles, you'll be picking for the Chiefs. Does that work for you?
Uh, Absolutely. And I just
Okay.
want to point out, though, I I am not a bandwagoner fan, okay? I was there through the Tyler Palkos, the Tyler Thigpens. If you didn't like me at my Tyler Palkos, you do not deserve me at my Patrick Mahomes, okay? So, and I also want you to bear with me. He's a little sleep deprived. I've got a cold. I've tested negative for COVID, so we're good there. If anyone was worried, even though, I'm in Arizona and you're in Missouri, so it doesn't really make any sense. But I'm excited. I hope that we each make our teams better today.
No doubt. Okay, I'm gonna flip the coin real quick, and we'll see who goes first. Okay.
Okay,
What you?
I'm
I'll let you call it. What are you calling?
I'm gonna call heads.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me flip. It is tails.
Ah,
It is tails. Tails never fails.
I should have picked tails. I'm such an
All
idiot.
right. All right. I will be okay. So I'll be picking first, but then of course we will be picking for our team. So we'll have a few back-to-back picks in there.
Yes. Mm.
Okay. So the Jacksonville Jaguars are officially on the clock. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Let's see. Should I take a quarterback? No. Trevor Lawrence didn't perform up to my expectations last year. Maybe we looking for a change there. Let's see. I think this is a no-brainer. I'm gonna pick the best player available for my teams I'm representing here today. And to me, the first pick in the draft is a no-brainer if you're taking the best player available. I'm going with Aidan Hutchinson, defensive end
Wow.
out of Michigan.
Aidan Hutchinson. He is one of the most well-rounded pass rushers that's come out in a while, and that's saying a lot because there are a ton of great pass rushers that have come out in the past 4 or 5 years. All
He's
right,
getting a
I've
lot of
got
comparisons to Bosa and for the Chargers.
yeah.
That's a good
Aid
pick.
yeah, if you can get a Bosa brother, by all means do it. I've got the most dysfunctional organization
Oh god.
in the Midwest. We're gonna make them better today, okay? The Lions have suffered way too much. You just, they've suffered so much, and I feel for them as a Chiefs fan. I used to suffer like that too. But they need an edge rusher. It's been a long time since they've been able to rush the passer. So I'm gonna give them the second best pass rusher in the draft, Kayvon Thibodeau.
Nice. So I think this is a defensive draft, and so now you're seeing it here. The top two picks, defensive linemen.
Yeah.
They put on a clinic at the combine.
Yeah, they did. Watch our previous episode. You can hear all about that.
Oh yeah. All right, awesome. So we've got the Texans. So this is pretty easy. So my first two teams, they have needs at almost every position. So you can't really go wrong. They just need a better player. Um,
You just need a
let's
better player.
see. There's a couple different directions I'm thinking about going here. But I'm a big believer in you win games in the trenches. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pick Evan Neal, offensive tackle out of Alabama. You got to start in the trenches, inside out.
Yep. And Evan Neal also played guard, I think, as well at Alabama too, so he's got some versatility there.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I am picking for the Jets. Oh, dear God. Can't mess this one up.
Okay. New York is watching. No
New York
pressure.
is the weight of the New York media is on my shoulders. I think they have had a hard time protecting the passer for the past couple years too, so it'd be really smart of them. They have quite a few needs, but they also have a few picks in this draft. So, I think that they choose if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, let's see, I'm gonna go to offensive tackles. I think they're gonna choose Ikem Ekwonu. I think they solidify the interior line. I think they solidify the outside of their line with Ekwonu, and I think they try to protect Zach Wilson much better, so that he can actually stay in the pocket and make some throws without running for his life.
Yeah, I'm a BYU guy, so I looked at Zach Wilson last year. I watched all of his games for the Jets, and definitely not a good rookie season. But you're right. I'm like, he had a lot of injuries to overcome at the receiver position. The offensive line was abysmal. He was literally running for his life every single game. So
Yep.
I definitely think protect your franchise guy, and then you can fairly evaluate him if he actually has some time to throw the ball like he's being paid to do.
Yeah.
That's a good pick. All right. Let's see. So I've got the Giants. I'm drafting for a division rival. I'll do right by you, New York. Don't worry. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to do I'm going to pick Sauce Gardner, cornerback from Cincinnati. The
Wow.
guy who's given up 0 touchdowns throughout his college career, and he says he has no plans on giving one up in the NFL either.
That makes the, defense for the Giants that much better. He is a great corner, was really good in college, like you said, never allowed a touchdown. And here we go. This is a pick that I'm not sure will exist by the time the draft comes around. I think the Panthers might trade, for Deshaun Watson. Whether they give up an asset in the draft or they trade Christian McCaffrey or they trade
Oh,
DJ Moore, all those people are sort of on the table, I think, if they're going after Deshaun Watson. Um, so I'm not sure about this one. I can make a trade on here, but I don't think we will for the integrity of this
yeah.
draft. So, with that in mind, I think the Panthers go on to protect Deshaun Watson, allegedly, with this, with this draft pick. So I think they choose Charles Cross out of Mississippi
That's a good
State.
pick. Charles Cross is one of the best pass blockers in the draft, so that's a great
Yeah.
pick. I think it's interesting. So now you hear it here first from Christian Lunday. You got Deshaun Watson going to the Panthers.
I think I think they're like one of like 2 teams that are gunning for him, one of 2 or 3 teams that are really pushing hard for him. I know the Eagles are in the running, the Panthers, and then there's one other team that I was reading about, but they escaped me for some reason. Um, yeah, it's gonna be bonkers. I'm excited. I could see with the trade of Russell Wilson, I could see Seattle
Oh,
making a run at Deshaun Watson too.
there are a lot of needy teams right now. You've got the Buccaneers. I think that would be a great fit. They have a contending roster. You put Deshaun Watson on that team. Oh my gosh. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's another team. They have a
Yep.
contending defense, but they need some production out of the quarterback position. Ben Roethlisberger was looking his age last year,
Yeah,
and then of
and there's
course I'm
potential
hoping.
there's potential they lose Juju too, so that
Yep.
means a quarterback and a wide receiver are probably of the utmost importance for Steelers right now.
Oh yeah. I'm still holding out hope that the Eagles will be able to get Watson if he's able to play. Because I love Jalen Hurts. Don't get me wrong, but I'll take Watson over Hurts any day of the week.
Well, this might mean nothing, or it might mean something. But Jalen Hurts unfollowed the Philadelphia Eagles on one of his social media platforms. So,
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Trouble in paradise.
What
Typical for Philadelphia.
do you
We
mean
know it well.
paradise? Not Howie
that's
Roseman?
that's fair point. No comment. There will be no comment at this time. I'm back for New York, baby. What's up? What it
What is
do,
that?
baby? Let's see. My gosh. So we got our corner. They want to see what Daniel Jones can do. So let's see. I don't know if I want to do that. So we've got a corner coming to New York. Let's go ahead. Let's load up on defense. I'm going to go David Ojabo, defensive end out of Michigan. So we're going to get a shutdown corner, and now we're going to give him some pass rush. The quarterbacks
And
aren't
he's
going
a
to have
baller.
time to – they're not going to have time to throw the ball. And if they do, they're going to have to target Gardner. So let's go.
Oh, the enigma, the anomaly, the Atlanta Falcons. What the heck is going on here? We don't have Calvin Ridley for a year for gambling while he was away with the team. Part of me feels bad. I'm like, he wasn't even playing at the time. I would find it more egregious, if he was playing and was gambling. But man, you bet the Falcons to win allegedly? That deserves a suspension. Holy cow. So I'm
Oh
gonna take
my
that.
gosh. Mental health is no joke, but anyone picking the Falcons to win, oh, he needs
Yeah,
some
it was
serious help. He needs some serious help.
I would have loved to see Calvin on the Chiefs, but unfortunately that wouldn't have happened
He
since
bet
this
1,500 and lost millions. Worst
lost
bet I've
10
ever
million.
seen.
Yeah, you shared that meme. I saw that one. Uh, anyways, I think that the Falcons go after an edge rusher as well.
Oh,
I Yes, I do. I think they go after Travon Walker out of Georgia. These Georgia boys, they can all play. They're all ballers. They're all NFL players. And I think the Atlanta Falcons beefs up their pass rush.
that's an interesting pick. I have him. He's in my first round, but I think that might be a little bit of a reach. If I was you, I might have been picking someone to replace Ridley there.
They might have. I do think that they try and go for a wide receiver left in free agency or make a
Okay.
trade. So that's something that I think instead of taking an unknown commodity at wide receiver, I think that they take something that was surefire, so they probably make a trade at some point. I thought they were gonna swing for uh, Amari Cooper, but apparently, the Browns somehow won out on that.
I don't know how he went for a 5th and a 6th round pick.
Yeah, crumbs,
That's
literal crumbs.
insane. I tweeted at the Eagles. I'm like, go get this guy. I watched him tear the ACL of Ronald Darby by running a double move. I was like, I want that man on my team.
Amari Cooper is like 6 months younger than Calvin Ridley. You could
I
have
think
filled
he's
the
6
hole
months
easily.
older.
6 months
He's 6
older,
months older. Yeah.
regardless, they're both 27,
Yeah.
like, fill the
Yep.
hole, it's right there. They're both in their physical primes. You could have I don't know. The Falcons are I mean, SMH, man.
I blame 30 different teams. Obviously, Dallas Cowboys aren't going to keep him, but the other 30 teams in the league who did not give up more than a 5th and 6th for Amari Cooper, what are you doing? The guy's worth way more than that. I can't believe it. I was disappointed. I wanted Calvin Ridley, but that's not an option. So I thought Amari Cooper's our next best bet.
Shrink it to
Philly.
29 teams. We're 6 million over the cap right now until
Okay.
we restructure Tyreek and Frank Clark possibly. Well, he's not going to play on his current contract for the Chiefs. I know that for sure.
Yeah, that's fair. There's a few teams who don't desperately need wide receivers, but anyone who did, you made a mistake not trading for that man.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I've got Seattle.
Yaddle.
Seattle does need a quarterback. And if Deshaun Watson's going to Carolina, if that's a done deal, let's see. So Seattle. All right. I tell you what, I keep saying I'm going to pick best player available, and I'm going to fill some needs here. Oof. I'm gonna go with. This is tough. You know what? I'm gonna relive the glory days. We're gonna go back to the Legion of Boom, and I'm gonna give him Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame. He's my best player available. He has been for a while in here. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna put him back there playing safety. Relive the Seattle glory days.
He is. Some people think he's the best all-around player in the draft. I don't know about that, but the kid is a stud.
I think that's a steal going pick number 9. I don't know if we'll see
9.
this happen in the actual draft.
Yeah.
He may be long gone by this point.
We might just be the Howie Rosemans in mock drafts. I
We
don't know.
Howie Roseman a few picks there.
All right, I'm on the clock for the Jets again. They've put the fate of their team on our hands. So we went offense this time, or the first time, got a tackle, and now we're sitting here, and there's 2 very good players at the top, 3 really good players at the top. What do we do? If I'm the Jets, I'm in a division with the Patriots, who are looking to beef up their wide receiving core but aren't great. But I'm also in a division with the Bills, and that scares me. So I'm gonna get someone who can cover some of the best wide receivers that were in college football, Derek Stingley Jr.
There you go. So he's gonna take down Stephon Diggs
Yeah,
for the
single-handedly, he's
Bills.
gonna take down the Bills
You take
by
away
himself.
Diggs, you take away the Bills. Miami's got some good wide receivers too, so that makes sense. The
Yeah,
Jets could use some help.
the 2 teams that you would have never thought would come up in the age of, Bill Belichick have finally, towards the end of his era, started to come in and dominate in the Miami Dolphins and especially the Bills. So you've gotta get
Mhm.
someone on defense who can cover both of those teams and their top weapons. I saw the
Okay.
practice tape of, Derek Stingley on Jamar Chase. I don't know if it was from 2019 or 2020, but he was sticky. Like, Jamar
Ooh.
Chase didn't have hardly any room.
And we saw firsthand. You saw firsthand. Covering Jamar Chase is no easy task.
I
The
don't
Chiefs
know
know
what
that better than anyone from last
I don't
year.
know what Steve Spagnuolo's doing. I don't know what he was doing in the regular season with Jamar Chase. It
Oof.
worked out a lot better in the playoffs, even though we lost. He did not go off for 200 yards against us that time. But Steve, what were you thinking, man? I have no idea.
Okay, here we go. So I'm picking apparently for the whole NFC East. I did not see this coming. I'm gonna help Washington. Washington just got Carson Wentz. You know, I'm a guy. I'm a Carson Wentz sympathizer. I liked him. No, I did not. I loved him in Philadelphia. I'm not gonna lie. My confidence wavered a little bit watching the way that the Colts season unraveled at the end, but I still think that if you can find someone who will help him regain his confidence, I think he's got a great head coach there, Riverboat Ron Rivera. I think he'll bring back some more confidence from my man Carson. Let's see. So I'm gonna give Washington fans the Commanders. I'm gonna give them what they want, and I'm gonna do Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, Ohio State. He's my number 1 wide receiver. Let's give Carson the weapons around him, get him back to MVP form.
Wow. Garrett Wilson, your number 1 wide receiver, goes off the board at 11.
Yes,
Impressive.
sir. Best player available. You gotta
Best
take him.
player available.
Washington doesn't really need a wide receiver. They got Terry McLaurin just dicing guys up out there, but you put Garrett Wilson across from him, they have one of the best receiving cores in the league right off the bat. Let's go.
Yep, and you've got Carson, Terry. Now you've got the speedster Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. That's some deadly combo right there.
Good luck. Eagles better get some secondary help.
For real. All right, so I'm picking for the Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings have a lot of holes here. I think they have some holes on their defensive side more than their offensive side of the ball. I do think Adam Thielen is aging, so that's something they might want to replace, but I think they can get good value later in the draft. I think what they need to do now is beef up their defense. I think they go corner. I think they draft the kid out of Washington, Trent McDuffie.
Okay.
I think he's one of the top ranked corners left on the board in this mock draft. I think he's very good. I think he can help them stave off those pesky wide receivers in the NFC. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for him to develop, but I bet you second half of the season the light clicks on and he's able to do some work.
The Vikings seemingly are always searching for corners.
Yeah.
Ever since Xavier Rhodes started his decline, they got him out of there. They're seemingly every offseason. They've tried with Patrick Peterson. They bring in all these guys trying to fill that gap. So there you go. They get a corner. Hopefully he pans out.
Or
This is
hopefully not. I think the
hopefully
Chiefs
not.
play Vikings this year if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
Trent McDuffie's lightning fast, so maybe he helps cover up Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, they've got to prepare for all teams in the NFL, not just the NFC. So if you play the Chiefs, you got to have someone fast.
So I'm looking at Cleveland Browns here. They're doing Baker dirty. The website we're using here, they've got quarterback listed as a need. That's not good. I don't think anyone in this year's draft comes in this year and outperforms Baker Mayfield. There's no way. I just don't believe it. I
Yeah,
don't believe in this
I don't
quarterback
think so
class.
too. I think they're looking for I think they were in the running for Deshaun Watson too before the trade for Amari Cooper. After the trade of Amari Cooper, I don't think they have enough assets. And maybe they do.
Yeah.
Maybe they can get away with a fifth and fourth round pick for
I was gonna
Deshaun
say
Watson.
they didn't
Never
give up
know.
much for Cooper. They didn't lose very many assets. I think they
Yeah,
got all the
apparently
assets they
not.
need.
Maybe they can
Um,
offer, a penny that, due to inflation is now worth like point 0.7 cents and be like, "Here, we'll take Deshaun." And
I
apparently that'll
think
work.
I think Baker Mayfield would be in a lot better position. He's got a legitimate wide receiver. He and Odell Beckham Jr. just didn't have chemistry. I never believe in Jarvis Landry. I've never thought that guy's a star wide receiver. He's a good slot receiver, but at best, he's an average number 2 or an elite slot receiver. The guy, to me, not a number 1 wide receiver. Amari Cooper can be. So he's going to step in. They have great running backs, great offensive line. So I think it's a no-brainer here. Cleveland's got to go defense. They're gonna go with let's see. I'm gonna give them to Kobe Dean, linebacker out of Georgia. They need a captain of the defense. They're gonna find one right there in Dean. The guy is a complete monster.
Now, see, that's one where I think might be a reach for N'Kobe Dean. Some people have Devin Lloyd ahead of him on their draft boards. But hey, that's a nice sneaker pick right there because he is a stud. He's an absolute monster. Like I said last week, there's something in the water in Georgia, and it's that Michael's Secret stuff. And I'm feeling real thirsty. I just really need a drink of that. I'm 5'6", 175 pounds. I need to grow a little bit. Let's see. I'm on the board for the Baltimore Ravens. All right, man, did they have an injury-riddled season this year? One of the articles on Dueker Sports talks about how this is the most injury-riddled season I've ever seen since the Eagles. Whenever they had to cancel practice because they have enough players to practice.
Don't remind me. Seemingly, this is the first year I remember the Eagles actually being relatively healthy in a long time since the Super Bowl season. Honestly,
Yeah. Well, they definitely have some needs in the secondary as far as safety help. Um, their corners are aging a little bit, but I still think they're good. So I don't think that the Baltimore Ravens go after a corner in the first round. They have a carousel of running backs. They have a carousel of wide receivers. I think they're strongly missing a linebacker, and I think they fill that need with Devin Lloyd.
shots fired at Patrick Queen.
Get 2 LSU. You can't have one linebacker in this league, you have to have
Fair.
multiple, and get 2
Okay.
teammates, they both played or, you get 1 LSU guy, you get 1 Utah guy. They're built, very similarly as far as their body shapes and their musculature, but Devin Lloyd's a beast, and I think if you have Patrick Queen and Devin Lloyd, very young, they're both flying around the field making plays. That's kind of a scary defense. It makes your front seven a little bit more difficult to deal with.
Okay, I'm just looking here. I'm super excited. The Eagles are on the clock, baby. And you got not Howie Roseman here to make these picks. Rest assured, Philadelphia, we're about to get a lot better. Okay, I'm so pumped right now. So my first pick, I did not plan this, but the guy that I would love to see the Eagles pick. He's gonna compliment our guy, Devontae Smith on the outside. Traylon Burks from Arkansas. Let's go.
Wow, Traylon Burks.
I love him. Let's go. Everybody's comparing him to Debo Samuel. Put Debo Samuel across from Devontae Smith. Unstoppable. We got Dallas Goedert at tight end. Good offensive line. Good run game. Let's help Jalen Hurts or Deshaun Watson. We don't know yet. Let's keep our hopes high. I'm super excited. I would love for this to work out just like that. And I'm lucky. So this is the first time we're going to be making back-to-back picks because I will also be picking for the Eagles. Next pick. So let's see here. So we got our guy there. You know what? You said it first. Let's go with Devin Lloyd, linebacker out of Utah. The Eagles' linebacking core has been a mess for years. We'd seemingly just put in these stopgap guys. I typically have never heard of the guys we bring in. I fall in love with them. I root for them throughout the season, but I'm like, we've got to get a legitimate star linebacker to help stop the run in Philadelphia.
Well, that's really unfortunate because it looks like the Ravens took Devin Lloyd.
Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I was not paying attention. You're right. Well, there you go. So now we've lost our pick because we wasted too much time. I'm just kidding. Howie Roseman. I just did a Howie Roseman. I'm questioning my own competence. I've seen Eagles draft too many times.
It's unfortunate, but hey, it's okay.
I really wanted that to happen. I forgot to cross him off my list. That checks out. Okay, well, never mind. So I pull a Howie Roseman. The Eagles are still on the clock. Time's running out. We're gonna go with, in that case, give me Jameson Williams. I'm gonna do it. Call us the Alabama Eagles because we're loading up the offense. Now we've got Hurts, Devontae Smith. We're gonna take Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams, I'm hoping is healthy by the start of the season. I'm not sure. I haven't read very many updates on him. Suffered an ACL tear.
He should
But
be ready by October is what I've read, and I've also seen that he's ahead of schedule, so there's a possibility he could be ready by the beginning or end of training camp.
that's fair. I don't know if the Eagles are picking back-to-back wide receivers, but if that happens, oh my
You
gosh.
are
I've
not
messed up.
Howie Roseman.
I
You are
am.
like, "I'm going to take 2 wide receivers back to back, and if one doesn't pan out and the other one does, I did
There
not
you
win."
go. I'm questioning. I was scrambling after drafting a player already selected. We're getting rid of Jalen Rager. We got to get rid of him. We're getting rid of JJ Arcega Whiteside. They're gone. We're replacing them with 2 stars, Devontae Smith. We have the best receiving core in the league right now. Forget defense. We can't draft the guy we want. We're just going to load up on offense.
Alright, well, the Chargers, they've extended Mike Williams. I think he's making $90 million over 4 years. Keenan Allen's aging, but still a really good route runner. They have a fantastic pass rush now with the addition of Khalil Mack on the opposite side of Joey Bosa. Derwin James is a stud. They've got a really good team. But I think they need some help in the trenches, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. And I think they take the freak himself. I think they take Jordan Davis
Ooh.
from Georgia. That is scary. Joey Bosa, Jordan Davis,
Gosh.
Khalil Mack.
Good luck.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
guys stop the
Good.
quarterbacks in that division. That's how you do it.
I know. I just want you to know I'm trying to be objective. I have a vested interest in this not happening. Um, and I think it's a very real possibility it might happen, which scares the bejeebers out of me. If I were Patrick Mahomes, I'm not scared, but as a fan, I'm asking people to bring me my brown pants every time we play the Chargers.
So you got the Saints now too. You can make back-to-back picks.
Back-to-back picks. All right. I've got the Saints. They've got an interesting predicament. They are in need of a quarterback. Jameis Winston might give him a shot for another year since he was playing pretty decently before he got hurt. So maybe they hold off on the quarterback just yet. No more Sean. No more offensive genius head coach. So what are they going to do? Well, here's what I think they're going to do. I think that under new leadership, under Dennis Allen, I think they clean house. I think they get rid of Jameis Winston. I think they draft Tiny Hands himself, Kenny Pickett. I can give him
Kenny
crap
Pickett.
for having small hands, and I remember the Joe Burrow tweet last,
Mhm.
2 years ago. He's like, "I'm considering retirement. Apparently my hands are too small." I'm literally shaking, something like that. I'm like, Kenny Pickett, if you watch it though, he can throw some serious dimes. He can throw on a rope. He's got a nice arm. And if the only thing we're irritated about is his tiny hands, well, guess what? He plays in a dome 8 games out of the year, and he's in the NFC South, so he's got 2 more games where he's in Florida. So it really
Mhm.
doesn't matter. That's 10 games out of 17 where he's gonna be in good conditions most of the time, if not all the time. So,
Well, I mean,
I think
also
they've got
Atlanta's. He's playing Atlanta twice a year too
another
in a dome.
another dome team. So
Yep.
that's 12 games. So I think the hand stuff really doesn't matter for him. I think they clean house, get a new rookie quarterback in here, take a shot at Kenny Pickett. I think they get the Michael Thomas stuff worked out. Yeah, this is what I think the Saints will do. It's kind of a
Okay.
gamble, not gonna lie, but I
I
I
think if
think
you're
this
gonna
is a
gamble
real
on a
possibility.
quarterback, pick 18 is a pretty good time to do it.
Probably.
I've got Kenny Pickett as my number 2 quarterback. I like Matt Corral out of Ole Miss. But yeah, both guys have the tools to become very solid quarterbacks in this league. If you're picking at the end of the first round, it's worth taking the flyer. The Eagles are back in the clock. I fumbled my second Eagles pick. I'm going to admit it. Picked the players already selected, drafted back-to-back wide receivers. The Eagles are losing trust in me. Hang in there, guys. We're coming back from that.
Hey, you admitted a mistake, which is something Howie Roseman doesn't
He
do,
would
so
never do.
never do it. So at least you're good, and they know, for sure. They've got 3 young, extremely talented wide receivers now on their team. They can go to the wall for
Mhm.
a plethora of other positions for the
We got.
foreseeable future.
You are right about Roseman not making mistakes. Arthega-Whiteside is still on the Eagles roster. That proves the guy. I don't know
Yeah.
what we're hoping for. He's a good run blocker, but that's about it. So the Eagles need some defense, okay? We have our offense. If we go back to back wide receivers, we are loaded on offense. We can take a break from there. Let's go defense the rest of the draft. There's a few guys I'm looking at here. Um I'm gonna have to pick the best player available. For me, at this point, that's got to be. Let's see. I'm gonna go with George Karlaftis. I think that's how you pronounce his name. The edge from Purdue. I think that's a great pick. Get some Eagles pass rush going. We weren't able to get the linebacker we need, but we're gonna bring in some pass rush help.
That's alright. Pass rush is deep this year.
Hopefully we're able to get some cornerback depth in free agency since we missed our chance in the first round of the draft. But let's see. We still got 6 more rounds after this.
Yeah. Well, now I have the unenviable task of repairing the damage done that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. and their vacancies at quarterback after a good long career by Ben Roethlisberger. So, knowing that they need a quarterback, I think they take a flyer. I think they go with Matt Corral out of Ole Miss.
Okay. I've heard a
I
lot of
think
people linking Malik Willis to the Steelers, but you say no, they're going to go Matt Corral. They're going to more traditional quarterback.
yes, I think he is, like you said, a more traditional quarterback. I think his game translates to the pros much quicker than the others. And I think with a strong running game behind Najee Harris, they can get to the quarterback. They've got some good pieces on defense already. I think Matt Corral eases into the NFL, transitions into the pros a lot better than the others immediately, and I think that's what they're looking for. And I think they want to be a run-heavy offense, so they're not going to ask him to do a bunch while he develops. So that's what I think the Steelers do. I think they draft Matt Corral.
I love that. I think that he's the safest pick for me as a quarterback in this year's draft. I think that Malik Willis has the highest upside, but he's gonna take some time. And the Steelers they have a contending Super Bowl contending defense. So bring in the guy that's gonna help you the most year one. I think that's a great pick. That blew my mind a little bit. I didn't see that coming. I like that pick. Going to the Patriots. All right, Tom Brady era has been over. It's Mac Jones's team now.
Yeah, hold on. Oh, I'll tell him. Yeah. That was Roger Goodell. He said he caught the Patriots cheating again, so they are getting yanked this draft pick. So sorry to say, Patriots cheated again, apparently.
Oh my gosh. I thought that was legitimate. I thought we are gonna have to stop the show. I said my man's getting a call. Okay. Tell Roger Goodell that Robert Kraft says, forget about it. We're keeping the pick. We're making a selection.
I'll text him real quick right now.
Yeah, you send him a text. All right. This is another team. You want to talk about a team that is receiver needy. It's the New England Patriots. And I'm going to give them some help here. Chris Olave from Ohio State. I love that guy. He is a stud. I'm giving him to New England here. They get the wide receiver to pair with Mac Jones. It's a new generation in New England.
Wow, Chris Olave. That guy's a stud, too. Ohio State had some ballers, too, this year, just like Alabama. Chris
Oh,
Olave
yes.
at 21. Wow. They're saying he could fall to the late 30s, even into the beginning of the second round, but I think his combine performance really helped him.
He looked amazing tracking the deep balls at the combine. He reminded me of a former Eagle, Deshaun Jackson, like just so smooth. He made it look so easy tracking the deep balls. He did the same thing in college. I think if he falls even to this pick, it's a steal. The guy is a stud to me.
Yeah. Well, staying true to form for the despicable Raiders, there's a theme in the AFC West now. We're going to do everything we can to get after Patrick Mahomes. So they go interior linemen, they go to defense, and they grab the fastest defensive lineman in the draft, a 4.77 freaky athlete, Devontae Wyatt.
Another Georgia guy.
Another Georgia guy. Another one. Another one.
Another one. I didn't know DJ Khaled was making the picks. Okay. Welcome in, DJ Khaled. Nice to see you on the show today. Got some great guests coming in. Roger Goodell and now DJ Khaled. Back-to-back picks. Dueker Sports is really taking off.
I know we got contacts from Roger Goodell. I'm getting texts from Antonio Brown's agent, Drew Rosenhaus. He's cussing me out right now. I don't know why.
Okay, we've got some solid guys on the board here. Lots of turmoil going on in Arizona right now. Kyler Murray apparently disgruntled. I will admit that he makes his fair share of mistakes, but the guy, I don't know. I think he's getting a little bit of unfair criticism. If you put up that anyone else puts up those numbers, I think you're pretty happy. Arizona hasn't finished where they've wanted to the past few years. But I think they're heading in the right direction. I don't think it's time to give up on Kyler Murray quite yet. Um, they're a great team, and so great teams need to make great choices, pick the best player available. There's a guy that's been sitting here for quite some time on my draft board. I've been looking at him. I've got him in the top 10, and he's still available. I'm going to say Jermaine Johnson the second. He's a defensive end out of Florida State. Bring in some guys, get the pass rush going. The Rams had a lethal passing attack. You got to stop them somehow, and this is how we get started. Let's go be a defensive-minded team.
Wow. And according to the draftnetwork.com, which is what this site we're using, Jermaine Johnson fell. He was ranked very highly according to this mock draft system, and picking him at 23rd is kind of a steal.
Huge steal here. Like I said, I had him ranked 10th on my draft board, and he's still there.
Yeah.
We got to get him drafted. He's going to go to the Cardinals. I think that'd be a great pick for them. I don't think any way that that's going to happen. The Eagles probably make that pick instead of a second wide receiver. Maybe I just want to see some offense. Fly. I want to see the Eagles offense truly fly.
Hey,
Yeah,
like,
Jermaine Johnson.
well, even then, the Eagles still got George at 19, so
True.
that's Eagles really didn't miss out that much in this draft, and the Cardinals need to replace Chandler Jones. I don't think he's returning, and he's kind of inconsistent. He had 5 sacks in week 1 and then barely did much after that. I know an edge rusher's value, there's so much more than just sack numbers, but Chandler's aging, and when you have such a nuclear week 1, but then mediocre 5 weeks after that, you leave the Cardinals fans scratching their heads, asking the brass, why are we paying this guy so much?
Even if they do find a way to somehow smooth things over with him, get him brought back on a reasonable contract, then they can put a guy opposite him now. Hopefully, allow him to play a more consistent level, avoid double teams. So either way, I think the Cardinals get a good pick there.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that for these Dallas Cowboys, I think they love their
Boo.
boo. I think they love their Boomer Sooners. And there's one in particular that's on the defensive line that I think they will pursue, and his name is Perion Winfrey.
Okay.
I'm a Sooners fan. I love Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley leaving hurt me, but I think we'll be better in the future, and I think players like Perion Winfrey have made their marks on the college game enough where pro teams are looking at this guy being like, he's a potential first rounder, and I think at all costs, at number 24, he goes to the Dallas Cowboys. They having problems maybe with DeMarcus Lawrence. Could lose him. They need to replace that. And I think Perion Winfrey's their guy.
That's a good pick. Hopefully he doesn't pan out in Dallas. Had nothing against the kid, just we don't like Dallas Cowboys in Philadelphia, not at all. Okay, so we've got the Buffalo Bills on the clock. The Bills have a great passing attack. Where they struggle is in the run game. And I'm going to pick a guy for the Bills that I'm not a huge fan of. He struggled at the combine and the drills, but on tape, he is a mauler. He might be the most well-rounded run blocker coming into this year's draft. I'm going to go Kenyon Green, guard out of Texas A&M. He's going to come in. He's going to help get that run game going, help balance that offensive attack in Buffalo. There he is.
Wow. That'll help him. The more you keep Josh Allen upright, the more he makes plays.
That's where Green needs to improve. His pass blocking, I think, isn't as good as that's why he's an interior guy. He's going to come in, be a mauler in the run game. But either way, you get those nasty guys. He's going to defend Josh Allen. So I think,
Yeah, if
that'd be a nice pickup for them.
you can set up holes in the run game for running backs. You force defenders to play back a little bit so they don't get run over, which sort of inhibits their ability to rush the passer.
Take some
Now
heat
I've
off
got
of Josh Allen.
Yeah, it does, and he definitely can make plays when the heat's not on him. He can make plays when the heat is on him. Now I've got the task of picking for the Tennessee Titans. this could go either way. I am honestly curious to see what they do. They've got a need at quarterback, I think. I don't think that Ryan Tannehill is the answer for them. I've seen very prominent Tennessee fans vehemently pound the table to get rid of Ryan Tannehill. I wonder if they give him one more year. I don't think they need one more year. I don't think he's great, but I also think I don't know if they can replace that level of competency in the draft right away. I could see them taking a flyer. I could see them trying to replace, trying to reinforce their wide receiver position. But I think that personally, I think the Titans go quarterback. I think they draft Malik Willis. I
Oh
think
my gosh.
I think that that is their biggest need, to be honest. Their defense has some, significant holes, but their defense doesn't matter if they don't have a quarterback that's competent enough to win games. And I know a lot of Tennessee fans, very prominent ones like Clay Travis, who want to see Ryan Tannehill gone. After they lost, that was all Titans Twitter was mainly people being like, "Why we can't win with this guy? We got to get rid of him." So I think they draft a quarterback.
I think Ryan Tannehill, I've always thought he's a pretty solid guy. I don't know if he's a guy that's going to win you a Super Bowl, though. And I did see on. I'm literally getting a call from Roger
It's
Goodell
Roger
right now.
Goodell.
I'm going to silence him. He's calling about that New England pick. Enough is enough, Goodell. No. Okay, so we've got back to the Titans. We're back to. I'm ignoring Roger. You can talk to me after the show. We've got Malik Willis going to Tennessee. You've made some very feisty picks. I like this.
Aggressive wins
I
in the
think
NFL.
I think that's true. Go big or go home. Malik Willis in Tennessee. That's exciting. I actually love that pick. I was shocked at first, but the more that I'm sitting here thinking about it, let him sit behind Tannehill. I actually do like Tannehill. I think that you let Malik Willis sit next year if you take him in Tennessee, maybe at least for the first half of the season. See how Tannehill does. If he continues to falter, 2 years ago, Tannehill played amazingly, got them to the AFC Championship. So if he comes back out on that level, okay, I think people are a little hard on Tannehill. The receiving core in Tennessee suffered numerous
Injuries.
injuries.
Yeah.
My gosh, well, that's what happens when you take Julio Jones. He's one of the best wide receivers of our generation, but the guy cannot stay healthy. Then they lost to A.J. Brown for a number of weeks. So I think give Tannehill another chance there. But in case he falters, you got Malik Willis getting that seat hot, excuse me. That's an exciting pick. I like that. I was actually thinking about doing the same thing here for Tampa Bay. So you stole my guy. So I'm thinking Tampa Bay needs a quarterback here. Let's see. Oof. They got a great offensive line. Tom Brady's out. Let's see. Let's look at my guys. You know what? I'll give you a surprise pick.
Oh.
I'm gonna give you a guy. You talk about Kenny Pickett having small hands. I'm gonna give you a guy with giant hands. I'm gonna give you Desmond Ritter, quarterback from Cincinnati. I really want to see this guy succeed. I think this guy has tremendous upside. Tremendous upside. I've got him listed as my number 3 quarterback. I believe I do. I like Malik Willis's upside. I think that he has the highest upside, but he screams bust more than any other quarterback to me in this draft. Inconsistent. I think you take Desmond Ritter here. He's got good size, great athlete, way more accurate than Malik Willis, and
Yes.
I'm excited. He comes in, he takes over for Tom Brady, gives him a whole new element of offense.
I think he is the most accurate quarterback that doesn't trust his accuracy. If you watch some of the film, so some people put clips of him from their all 22 film on Twitter. You can go and watch his highlights on YouTube. If you look at some of those throws, they're tight windows, and he drills them like on a rope. Boom,
Mm-hmm.
gets him in the tightest windows on the numbers, in the hands, caught, touchdown. And I see him on some of those plays not pass to similarly open wide receivers. He doesn't always take those opportunities. It's like, dude, you can throw balls on a rope. like a laser beam. And sometimes you don't do it because it's like you don't trust yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you are extremely talented. His accuracy is incredible for such a young quarterback, and I agree with you 100%. He has the highest potential probably out of all these quarterbacks in this year's draft.
I think you partner him with Bruce Arians. You got BA in Tampa Bay. Oh my gosh, I think he gets a ton out of this kid. That's why I was going to take Malik Willis there because of the upside. I think Malik Willis has the highest upside, like I said, but I think he has
Yeah.
the lowest floor among the first round eligible quarterbacks. But Desmond Ritter, I don't even know if I call that a consolation. I think if he falls to the Buccaneers, you take him. I think he puts up the best numbers year one of the quarterbacks that we've talked about here. If he goes to Tampa Bay, I think it would be lethal.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they get Chris Godwin back. Personally, I can see the Falcons making a run at Chris Godwin um, to replace Calvin Ridley. But if they do, they might re-sign him. You never know. He's got Mike Williams and Chris Godwin back. You've got some weapons. You've got some room to work there. So that would
They've
be
got great tight
it's
ends too,
yep, they
and an
do.
offensive line that's going to give him some time. Like I don't know,
And
you go to
he doesn't need all that time either. He's got 4.5 speed.
that's true. I think any quarterback, you hope you fall to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this draft. If you're a rookie quarterback, that's the best situation to win right now, and to like they can ease you in. They can run the ball. They can play great defense, but they've surrounded you with elite NFL talent. So you go there. Tight ends are young quarterback's best friend. That's what they say. Great tight ends, great offensive line. So yeah, that would be exciting. I want to see Desmond Ritter play well. I like the kid's attitude, and I
Yeah.
think that'd be a great spot for him. You got the Green Bay Packers right
I'm
here.
gonna pick Sam Howell. They need a quarterback.
They've
I'm not
got
picking Sam Howell.
all their quarterback has done is win back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah,
He hasn't.
he's getting old. He's declining.
Rogers
He's
says, the story of him. I mean, signing what was it? He said that the terms of the contract were inaccurate. So who
yeah,
knows? Maybe I think you want to make him mad. Get him out of there. Let's
yeah,
make him mad again.
I know, it just
Jordan Love, who? They're like, no, let's
yeah,
get another
Sam
quarterback
Howell,
and
let's
see.
do it. This is Sam's
It
team
motivate.
now.
I think that's actually a great idea. I mean, it motivated Rodgers to back-to-back MVPs when you take Love. So let's draft another quarterback and keep it rolling.
I don't think they do that. I think they right the wrong this year. I think they grab Jahan Dotson out of Penn State.
Oh,
That guy is a baller. I think they pair him alongside Devontae Adams, who they franchise tagged. Him, Devontae, Aaron Rodgers. That is deadly. I would love to see that offense. I think he'll ingratiate well. He's got really good hands. He is a really good wide receiver. I would be excited to watch their offense if they did that.
I think you finally give him the wide receiver that he's been begging for. That's a great pick.
This would be the first time they selected a skill position in the first round since they drafted Aaron Rodgers.
That's insane.
Yeah, ridiculous.
There's clear reason. I've understood why Rodgers is upset. I totally understand. Drafting a quarterback when he's been begging for a wide receiver for years. It's similar to what happened to Carson Wentz a few years ago in Philadelphia. And a lot of people are questioning their ability to compete or be leaders. But I'm like, no, if you're Aaron Rodgers, you're an MVP caliber quarterback. You're trying to get a ring. You want guys who are going to come in and be able to help the team right now. You don't want a backup quarterback. I understand. Philadelphia's been the quarterback factory. I think value the backup quarterback position more than any other team in the league. But you also need to bring in guys who can help you win right now when you have a Super Bowl quarterback like Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely.
Jahan Dotson, I think that's a great pick. I think you'll make him happy. You give him a new contract, you make him happy. You give him a wide receiver, you make him even more happy. So I've got Miami Dolphins on the clock. Okay, there's a couple different directions. I think I know who I want to go here with. I really like this guy's attitude, and I mentioned it in our last video at the Senior Bowl, at the Combine. This guy wasn't making friends, but he was making money, and he's about to get paid. I'm going to give him Trevor Penning, the offensive tackle of Northern Iowa. Let's build the offensive line up. Let's protect those quarterbacks back there. I don't know who they go with the quarterback this year, but do they stick with their man or do they? I don't know.
That's a good pick. That's a really good pick. At this point when you're trying to figure out your quarterback position, you could stay there, you can move on, you can try and get Deshaun Watson, although
Yep,
Deshaun is no longer interested. You got a lot of turmoil. Sometimes you just need to build the trenches first.
it's true.
It's a safe bet, um, and they'll be around for a long time, especially if they're good. So
I
that's
think
I
Tua,
I
you
mean,
could do worse. You could do worse than Tua at quarterback, and yeah, I've been hearing everyone saying that they're out of the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. So I think, yeah, you do the second best thing here. You take a
yeah.
guy to protect him. They've got Jalen Waddle on the outside, so they have some weapons. If you don't see them go offensive line here, I think you take a running back. If you're Miami, I don't know if any team needs a running back more than Miami right now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm interested to see how Miami Dolphins play out their season and what they do as far as the offseason's concerned, because I am not quite sure. Like they're kind of enigma too, kind of like they seem like they're in purgatory, along with the Falcons. Like they're not quite sure of their quarterbacks anymore. They're not but they're not completely sold on their quarterback, but they're not completely out on their quarterback either. They
Yeah,
gave up a lot to get to us, so they don't. I feel like they don't really they don't really know what they're doing. Um,
they get rid of Brian Flores, one of the biggest
yeah,
storylines in the offseason.
purposely trying to lose games, paying him, trying to
Oh
give him
my
six
gosh.
figures per lost game, and then fire him because he doesn't want to do that.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I have no idea what they're gonna do. All right, well, here we go. We've got the Chiefs, my favorite team. Uh, could potentially have anywhere between 30 to 70 million dollars in cap space depending on what they do this year with some contracts. Uh, it is for sure Frank Clark is either not going to play on the Chiefs, or if he does, he's not going to have the same contract.
Yep.
So my guess is they move off him, which means they've got a need at edge. Charvarius Ward, one of the best ranked cornerbacks according to Pro Football Focus last year. Possibility he moves on. He's going to get a huge payday. We can't afford that. So we have a need at cornerback. We have some really good corners. Uh, I love L'Jarius Sneed. Did a fantastic job. I just don't understand why Steve Spagnuolo just went to L'Jarius and be like, dude, you stay on Jamar Chase. That is your job for the rest of the game. It's like, you're our fastest corner. You're our best corner. You stay on him. We have one of my favorites, number 27 for the Chiefs. His name escapes me right now, but he is really good. He was ranked as one of the best corners in the league according to Pro Football Focus as well. He actually was the highest graded cornerback for the Chiefs last year. Um, so we've got some good pieces at corner, and if he's our third best corner, I'm not going to complain.
Hmm.
I do think uh, edge and corner are going to be the things that we go after the most here. I think we get Juju Smith-Schuster. I saw him in the Chiefs facility earlier this week. I think he sorely
You
regrets
saw
not.
him.
I mean, on Twitter, yeah, I was personally there. I have all these connections. I mean,
Fantastic.
yeah, uh, I ignore calls from Marie Smith. That's how in I am for the NFL. Uh, I I think that we get a wide receiver, either Juju or Allen Robinson. I think those two are very possible candidates. Juju's more so. There's some drama between Matt Nagy and Allen Robinson. I don't think it's quite tenable as much. I think we prefer Juju. Um, so, with that being in mind, we'll pursue another young wide receiver later in the draft. I think our sole focus for the first round is someone on the defense that is competent. And
You know who I think would be the most happy about Juju going to Kansas City?
Juju?
No.
Oh, okay. Who?
Jackson Mahomes and Brittany
Yeah,
Mahomes.
they
They
can make
love
TikTok.
TikTok. I
Yes.
think I think that makes sense. Let's send him to TikTok capital right now.
Except Jackson moved to LA now, so he's not even going to be there most of the time. Anyways,
That's a good thing.
uh, uh,
Let's not be disappointed about
Patrick,
that.
Patrick, and Brittany got married this weekend. Much love to you guys. Hopefully, I wish nothing but the best. Even for Jackson, that's a lot of pressure on him. Um, I, some of it his fault, but that's besides the point. So here's the
He's a
three.
kid.
Yeah, he's very young. Here's the three players I think they go after. Andrew Booth, if he is still there, they go after him. Daxton Hill, if he is still there, We don't know if Tyrann Mathieu is going to re-sign with us. There's a possibility. There's also a great possibility he walks away because we can't afford to pay him what he wants. Boye Mafe is someone that the Chiefs love. He's been on their radar for a long time. They need to replace Frank Clark. Frank Clark leaves. I do think that we have an edge that we drafted last year. He's very good. He's just raw, which is why he didn't play a bunch. We probably re-sign Melvin Ingram, so I don't think edge is on the table just yet. Tyrann Mathieu, while not officially re-signing with us and more than likely walking away, there is a possibility that his market is not as great as he thought it would be, which means his best opportunity to win a ring is with us, so he'll come back and re-sign. Cornerback, I think Charvarius is very good. I think he's gone. I don't think we can afford him. So we're going to pick Andrew Booth Jr.
Okay.
5-star athlete coming out of high school, super explosive, lots of speed, longer corner. He's 6 feet, I think. We kind of need that.
It's a good pick. Yeah. I think Boye Mafe would have been my pick there. Explosive edge player. But yeah, definitely defense is.
We drafted Joshua Kando last year. Hopefully, I think the Chiefs are kind of hoping that he pays off this year. So we'll see. Boye Mafe is completely on the table. I am no expert. I think if Andrew Booth is still on the board, which I don't think they're anticipating, I think they grab him.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That makes sense. We're in Cincinnati. Everyone knows what Cincinnati needs. They need offensive linemen.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my board, and here's what I'm going to do. I think that they'd rather go with a tackle here, but I'm going to give them the best player available. This would be an absolute steal. He is my highest rated interior offensive lineman in this year's draft. I'm going to give him Tyler Linderbaum, center from Iowa. He comes in. You got to build up the offensive line. You got to give Joe Burrow more time. You saw in the Super Bowl that came into play big time. Most sacked quarterback last year. They gave up, I don't even remember how many sacks. I know they had given up 12 sacks going into the Super Bowl just in the playoffs. And then he was sacked, I think, like six plus times in the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah.
And back-to-back big plays by Aaron Donald seals their fate. You got to go offensive line here. And
absolutely.
I think they go him, or we have Bernard Raymond, who's still available, offensive tackle at Central Michigan. Those are the two guys I'm trying to decide between. But you got to just draft the best player available, and then you can move guys around, hopefully on the offensive line, and try to make something work. But they need linemen for sure, no doubt.
Yeah. Hey, if there's any lesson we learned from the Super Bowl 2 years ago, it's that you protect your quarterback, because if you don't, you're not going to win the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes runs the most yards behind the line of scrimmage ever in Super Bowl history. We lose the game and get blown out. Joe Burrow takes 6 sacks in the Super Bowl, and 2 of them basically in clutch moments where they needed to score. Don't win, lose the Super Bowl. You have to protect your quarterback. I think that's a fantastic pick.
So this is exciting. You got Kayvon Thibodeau going there to Detroit. They're on the clock again. What are they going to do?
Well,
last pick too.
I would have thought that if he fell, the Lions would take him, Nakobe Dean, but he's gone.
Don't make my mistake. Don't make the same mistake as me. Be better than that.
So here's what I am wondering. Do you go after a wide receiver that's still available? Drake London is still on the board. Christian Watson is still on the board. Christian Watson is one of my favorites. He is very good. Or do you pursue somewhere else like defensive line or linebacker? I think they're set at some of these positions. I think they have a lot of needs at everywhere else. But I think they need some explosion. I think they need some offensive weapons. I think they grab Christian Watson in the first round.
Okay, wow. I'd go Drake London there over Watson, personally.
I think Christian Watson will be better than Drake London. That's my personal opinion. I am wrong very often. And this is a franchise where it's okay to be wrong, apparently.
They're used to that. That's okay.
I do think Christian Watson is a more complete wide receiver than Drake London. I I like him more. I think they both fall to the second round though. I don't see them getting drafted in the first, but I could be surprised. But here we go.
So I'm curious. So, looking back at these picks? What are some of your favorite picks that you made? Give me your top 1 or 2 picks that you just made there. What do you think?
One of my favorite picks, I think, uh, it scares me, but it's the Jordan Davis pick.
I agree.
I think the Chargers are a serious force to be reckoned with, and I think anyone who takes the Chargers lightly is fooling themselves. The Chargers didn't make the playoffs. Yeah, we all know. Um, they play the Chiefs really hard, and they suffered some injuries. Their howitzer for a quarterback and Justin Herbert is still very young. They have ballers everywhere. Honestly, the Chargers RB position outside of Austin Eckler might be their weakest position. I, I personally have a hard time seeing a weakness. If Keenan Allen continues to play the way he has and Mike Williams continues to play the way he has, this draft is deep. I can see them getting another wide receiver, which means they're just going to be absolutely explosive. Their defensive line is going to be incredible, like unbearably scary in my mind. And they've got a very competent secondary. The Chargers are a team to worry about.
No doubt. I think of all your picks, I thought that was my favorite as well. I think he goes there. The Chargers. Oh my gosh, that defense would be so deadly. I'd love to see that pick happen. Do you have another one that you thought stands
Um,
out to you?
Another pick of mine that stands out to me, I think Han Dotson for Green Bay. I think that's something the Packers
Yeah.
sorely need. I think if they do that, they instantly get on Aaron Rodgers' good side for about 40 minutes and then back to his bad side for some reason. Um, I think that opens up their offense. They have been limited in the NFC Championship games. If you watch the past 3 years, they didn't make it last year, but
Yeah.
2 years before that, they were back-to-back NFC Championship available. Their wide receiving core, uh, you can tell Aaron Rodgers doesn't trust anyone but Devontae Adams. And he's the type of person where, yes, stats matter to Aaron. I get that. He's also extremely accurate, and he only throws to people in big moments that he trusts. You saw it with Jeff Janis a long time ago. He took a shot. Jeff Janis
Yep.
caught a Hail Mary pass. He trusted Jeff, and it's Jeff Janis. But since Jordy Nelson's gone and Randall Cobb has aged, he really has only had one wide receiver that he trusts,
Yep.
and that's Devontae Adams. And you give him another one who's got really good hands, really good speed, great after the catch, kind of a big-bodied guy. Two players like that opens up the offense. He builds trust. He takes chances in the NFC Championship that he didn't take the past 2 times he's been there, which
Mhm.
could be the difference between making the Super Bowl and losing in the NFC Championship. So I think that pick is mine. What about you? Do you have 2 that
That's a
you
good.
really like?
I do. I wanted to say a few things about that though. We do need to wrap up our show pretty soon here, but I think the Jahan Dotson pick is pretty good as well. He's not. He's 5'11". He's not that big of a body, but a lot of people think he's the best route runner and has the best hands in this year's draft. So I'm like, and you look at if you're gonna pick the guy that fits that bill in the NFL right now, Devontae Adams is on a short list
Yeah.
of guys that fits that description. So you put 2 of them with Aaron Rodgers. That's another great pick. I totally agree with you. I think that you just mentioned the 2 guys who I thought you did the best job picking for. I do. I have 2 guys as well that I want to talk about. Uh,
I had Jahan at
unbiasedly,
6'2". I think I'm wrong about that.
I'm pretty sure he's 5'11".
Yeah,
We'll have
you're
to look that up
probably right
later.
about that.
But uh, I did spend a lot of hours watching the combine. That could mean that I'm correct, or it could mean that I'm mixing up a lot of players.
No, I think
23
you're right.
hours of combine footage. I don't know. It's all I'm like. It seems like he was 5'11", but who knows? Uh, Unbiasedly, I'm gonna say Traylon Burks to the Eagles. That just worked out perfectly. I don't know that he'll be available there in the actual draft, but we've got the Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith on the outside. You need a physical receiver to go opposite him. I think that's the best thing. So I think Traylon Burks goes in. I think loads that offense. We're not going to draft 2 wide receivers in the first round. As exciting as that was to do here today, not gonna happen. But I think if we get Traylon Burks at least, oh my gosh, or Jameson Williams, either of those guys. But I would love to see Traylon Burks go there. Perfect fit for me. And then my
I'm
number
hoping
two.
that because of his injury that Jameson Williams falls to 30 so the
Oh
Chiefs, because I think if
gosh,
he's still on the board at 30, Chiefs grab him. He
I hope not.
he is the best wide receiver in this draft to me, and if he wouldn't have gotten hurt, he would have posted a blazing 40 time. He does things. There's a play, when Alabama, I can't remember who they were versing, but he starts on they're at their own 15. He's on the inside close to the tackle. They have John Mechie, another great wide receiver, I
Yes.
think, on the outside on the left side of the formation. He goes inside, so Jameson Williams comes this way and then goes out. There's only one person in the NFL that I see create that much separation with a bunch of pros, and that's Tyreek Hill. And
Yeah.
he basically Jameson destroyed the safety's angle, and the angle was great. But
Yep.
but Jameson is so explosive and so fast and really good at route running. He just destroys the angle. And I'm like, holy cow, there's one play that embodies this man. It's that one.
As a Chiefs fan, I can see why you'd say that. If Jameson Williams goes to the Chiefs, my gosh, call it. It's a wrap. It's
Yep.
a wrap. Uh, my second pick that I thought was a great fit is Desmond Ritter going to Tampa Bay. I just think Bruce Arians. I do think Malik Willis could be a good fit there, but Bruce Arians is more of an old school coach. I think he would prefer to have a guy like Desmond Ritter over Malik Willis, anyways. Uh, Ritter is more accurate, like I said, and I just really I've seen some comparisons to Marcus Mariota, who I really hope to see get a starting job this year. Marcus Mariota is one of my favorite quarterbacks ever to come out of college, and he hasn't necessarily lived up to the high draft pick that he was selected at, but I think the guys are still extremely talented. I think he's better than multiple guys who've started at quarterback recently. But I think Desmond Ritter, Tampa Bay, great fit, great for the scheme. Bruce Arians makes that guy into probably a star. I really believe that.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think uh I think Desmond has the highest ceiling like you were saying. I think when you were talking about him last week as far as your combine performances, he he is really athletic human being. And like watching some of the stuff that's available on YouTube and some of the all 22 that people post on Twitter, there's some things there that I was really, really impressed with, especially his accuracy. Like that was the one thing about him that jumped off the page, and that's something that a lot of like quarterbacks lack that have his athleticism.
Yes.
And and I can tell just from like watching that sometimes it just seems like he doesn't trust how good he is with the ball. I'm like, dude, your accuracy is I mean, you can throw it on a rope, dude. I don't know about his arm strength as far as how deep he can throw, but we see people like Alex Smith who, after 40 yards, that ball is coming to the ground most of the time.
Yeah.
If you can throw accurately and process a defense, you can succeed. Alex Smith threw for 4,000 yards under Andy Reid because he can throw the ball accurately and he can process defenses. You don't have to have the biggest arm. And I think Desmond has a much bigger arm than Alex Smith. And he has that
Mhm.
accuracy. You put those together, the only thing you're missing is this. And you work on this, you're going to be successful. And with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're going to do almost everything they can to help you be successful, to
Mhm.
replace Tom Brady and help them win games. That is an exciting pick to me. I think that's that might be in my opinion the one that intrigues me the most.
I think it's hilarious. I don't know if you know this or not, but you just said Alex Smith, and I did a lot. I've been doing tons of research on the draft, but NFL.com's comparison for him is Alex Smith. So
Wow. I
I was
did
like,
not
that's
know.
pretty good. That's pretty good. Maybe you wrote that article. Uh, no, yeah. I think, and
I
Alex
only
Smith
write
was.
I only write articles for Dueker Sports. Writing for
I
NFL Network
appreciate
is
that.
above me. Yeah, it's above me. It's above I'm above that type of work.
Okay,
Only
there
for
you go.
Dueker
It's below
Sports.
you. Yeah. Okay, I appreciate that.
Oh,
You're
yeah, it's
below
below
too.
me. See, I
I
can't
was
even
like,
talk
hold
sports.
on, whoa. No, I think Alex Smith was an underrated athlete, especially early on in his career. A lot of people forget that he could run as well. But you got Desmond Ritter's athleticism, and then the accuracy of Alex Smith. Yeah, I think perfect fit going there. You do want to get the deep ball out a little more in Tampa Bay. You got Mike Evans, and if Godwin returns, but two guys who can get the ball, track it deep. So yeah, that's fun.
That was fun. Well, hey. This has been another episode of Dueker Sports. Got a few things to tell you right before we get off here. One, you can follow both of us, both Dylan and I, on Twitter. Here are our handles below. And Dueker Sports, available on all major platforms, Facebook, Twitter. You can follow us there at Dueker Sports. And
YouTube.
on YouTube as well, Dueker Sports on YouTube. You can find us there as well. Hit the like and subscribe buttons on YouTube and hit the notification bell. That will notify you whenever we post a video. You can watch it instantly. Hit all those buttons. Comment below what your thoughts about this draft are. But maybe we were Howie Rosemans here, or maybe not. Maybe we were actually nailing our drafts. Maybe we were the Brett Beaches of the world. I'm biased. That's why I say Brett Beach. Apparently, less need. Apparently, we can be less need if you want, if you're a Rams fan. I don't know. Fill in the blank for good GMs. Yeah, post your comments below. We want to see engagement. We want to see you guys talking, sharing your thoughts with us, because there might be a chance we might debate those on the show. You'll never know. So comment below, hit the like and subscribe button, hit the notification button, follow Dueker Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and follow us individually on Twitter. And we hope you have a nice day. This has been another episode of Dueker Sports.